Please welcome Team Chat.
Mary is a 24-year-old Cambodian garment factory worker. Her parents are fruit farmers, and she has 2 siblings. She started working at the factory at the age of 17 to help support her family. 2 years ago, she met her first boyfriend. They fell in love, they started having sex, and then she missed her period. When she told her boyfriend she was pregnant, he abandoned her. Feeling like she had no choice, she went to a shop around the corner from the factory and bought a pill that they said would end the pregnancy. It did, but it also caused severe pain and bleeding, sending her to the hospital. She missed a week of work, and that also meant a week's worth of pay. 2 months later, she went through another failed relationship and another pregnancy scare. She felt hopeless, depressed actually. So depressed that at one point she even contemplated suicide. Chat is a set of tools that enable women to learn early on about their contraceptive options and prevent unwanted pregnancies. It has 3 components which complement each other. The first, activity-based sessions that enable workers to learn and grow in a comfortable space. The second, video sessions that engage their emotions as they relate to characters' everyday challenges. And third, a mobile quiz app that tests their knowledge in a fun, competitive spirit. After going through Chat, Neri realized she wasn't alone. She felt comforted. She felt confident. She went on the birth control pill, and she says she feels more focused at work and more hopeful about the future. Chat was originally funded by the Australian government. It's been implemented in 30 factories through private sector partnerships with Levi's, Marks & Spencer, and GlaxoSmithKline. To date, we've reached 10,000 workers. We have doubled usage of contraception. And more than that, we have tripled the confidence of women to refuse sex and to discuss contraception with their partners. So what makes Chat possible? What makes it sustainable? Chat leverages the supply chain network through 3 key actors. First, retailers. Second, the garment industry body. And finally, individual factories. Participating factories have reported that they see increases in productivity. Fewer workers are out sick, and turnover is lower. All of these things directly affect their bottom line. It's no surprise then that in our market research, we've seen both retailers and factories see value in the product, and they're willing to pay for it. So our vision is to take our partners and turn them into our customers. I'm here tonight to ask you for 3 things. The first is passion. If you are someone who believes deeply that every woman should be able to make her own decisions about her body and her life, come speak to us. The second, thank you. The second, and also important, partnerships. We're looking for more brands and retailers to invite us into their supply chain. We need mentorship. We want to ensure we have a sustainable business model and a sellable offering. Finally, we're looking for $500,000 of catalytic funding to take chat to scale. There are 40 million female garment factory workers in Asia alone. In 1 year, with the first $150,000, we could optimize chat as a solution, establish a social enterprise, so that it can be made available for all 700 factories in Cambodia as a fee-based service. Within 3 years, we will adapt chat for 2 additional countries, Vietnam and Indonesia. These 3 countries alone provide us a potential impact group of 5 million women. So tonight, I want to remind you that we're here for Neri, and we're here for the millions of women like Neri. And I would like everybody to stand up. Thank you. Stand up. Let's commit to enabling the millions of women like Neri to take control of their bodies and of their lives. Thank you.
Very inspiring. I'm curious, what are the costs of the program? Is it per kind of participant or per factory in terms of scaling this to many factories? And are you looking for at the factory level, which obviously trickles up to the vendors producing at that factory to pay for the program, which is this sustainability model?
So currently, we are into a fund-based model. Mm-hmm. So we have funding from brands and retailers like Levi's, and then we also have funding from GSK, and initially, as Julia mentioned, it was initially funded by the Australian government. So the idea now is that we want to move this into a service-based model where any factory can, request for this program in their factory, or a brand could say like, hey, we have 60 suppliers, can you do this program for them? Mm-hmm. Or it could be like a group company having 10 factories saying, we want it, right? So when we did a cost mapping, it actually works out to around $6 per worker. But that is excluding, the cost which a factory has to take care when they take time off work, like workers come outside and they attend this training during working hours. Mm-hmm. So that's an area, again, we would like to dig deeper and understand what are our exact costs. And we would also want to define the return on investment for every dollar invested from a factory or from a brand.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I guess, how do women then access the contraception? So assuming they learn about, the availability and contraception through the groups or through the app. Actually, I want to know, too, how the app plays into the community groups or the in-person trainings at the factory level. But then how do they then get help? Is it also facilitated through chat, or they then have to find their local healthcare provider to get the get the contraception?
Well, actually, CARE doesn't provide contraception directly.
Okay.
No, I mean, not as anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's just we don't provide it. What we really try to do is link them into the services. Mm-hmm. And so some factory infirmaries might offer it. Other than that, we actually have a referral directory that breaks down their options by area, so they can look close to their home, they can look close to the factory, whatever is convenient for them. And everybody, the trainers as well as the infirmary staff, are trained on that. Mm-hmm. And there is actually now a National Social Security Fund that pays for their services and has contracts in health centers. So they pay into this along with their employer. So part of what we're doing actually is raising awareness about that, because it's relatively new and they're just seeing money disappear from their paychecks. Yeah. And so now actually we link them into the services. And there's always, there's health centers, public health centers nearby, also a number of private clinics as well. Okay. And then the mobile app question.
Yeah. So the idea of the mobile app is basically, the 3 components. The idea is you want to achieve behavior change. It's not just, okay, I know these are my options, but I don't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. So the idea of the mobile app is to reiterate the messages. And what workers can do is after they go through, the trainings with us, they can learn in a self-paced manner as well as test their knowledge. So what the app does is it's a voice-enabled app. works on a smartphone. And in Cambodia, you have more than 45% of women having a smartphone. So what it does is, it requires a one-time download, which we facilitate. After that, it does not require any internet access. So the worker can set a time of call as per her preference. If it's 8 a.m., evening 7 p.m., whatever, she gets a call like how you receive a normal call. And you get a question saying, hey, I'm Sophia, and a lot of people ask me this question. What do you think the answer is? And you have a yes and no button. That's it. So you press depending on your choice, and you get a response as well as an explanation to the answer. So it's like you're spending a minute in a day to just learn anything new in case you've forgotten, or also test your knowledge. So yes.
Okay. And are people using that app?
Yes, they are using the app.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.